and all of a sudden he's screaming at the top of his lungs. There's only 12 of us in the room and we're all screaming with him. This is the time. If you feel like you've been stalling a little, it's okay, who cares? And now's the time. Over time, I wish someone told me this. We're in this moment of change. We're in the moment of, craziness going on around the world. And my thoughts and prayers are for a lot of people around the world. We're in the thoughts of political divide like I've never seen in my life. And it makes me sad. We're in a place where it seems like there's hidden inflation. They say it's not really there, but everybody I talk to is like, my groceries are twice as much, filling my tank is twice as much. Like there's just this, it's just this weird moment. And I just want to remind you, in moments like this, it's easy to fall victim, to go, these are tough times. Let me just see where things are going to land, right? We got AI. Is that going to take my job or fuel my job? Is inflation going to rob my opportunities or fuel my opportunities, right? All these things. And I just want to share with you, this is truly not the time to sit on your hands. This is a time to be brave and to be bold and to gain capabilities. It's why Tony and I are working so hard at Mastermind to give you the tools to go fast now. This is the time because most people will sit on their hands. Most people will wait to see when the dust settles. By the time the dust settles, you could be 5, 10 steps ahead. I'm going to encourage you to do whatever the heck it takes to get disturbed with your own inaction. This is the time. If you feel like you've been stalling a little, it's okay. Who cares? And now's the time. You feel like you got lost? Fine. No worries. We're here. You're here right now. You might not know it, but I said it earlier. I'm an extreme introvert when I'm around strangers in public. I can get on stage. When we did the McConaughey event, we had 500,000 people live, 2.5 million people day one. I could stand in front of a camera, see thousands of you on the screen, see millions of chat coming in. Man, I am fired up. Go to my 4-year-old son's friend's birthday party, and there's a bunch of 4-year-old and parents there, and I have to mingle and talk to the parents. I'm pretty much speechless. I'm not good at conversation. I get nervous. How can that be your fuel? How can that be the thing that allows you to go to another level? And whether you're an introvert or extrovert, we have the opportunity to pick out the things that can hold us back. We can pick out things, I'm just shy, I don't want to go public in front of anybody else, I'm awkward on camera, and I'm not sure my friends do it, right? We could use that as the thing that subtly stops us, or we can use it as fuel. Now, I get to look back over doing this for almost 30 years now. And I get to see, only because I've been doing it long, where being an introvert has allowed me to actually go faster. And I want to share some of those things with you today. Because we agreed we have an introvert in us and we have an extrovert. Wherever you are on the spectrum, we have a little bit of both. Over time, I wish someone told me this. People just want the version of you. When I used to get in my head, it was when I compared myself to possibly an extrovert, somebody who would walk in a room and light up the room and be communicating and know this person and know that person. It's like, God, I wish I could be them. Or I'd watch somebody on camera that felt like they had so much confidence and so much charisma, and I'd be like, oh, I can't do that. I'm shy. And every time I had comparison, it would set me back, and then I'd have to work through it and work through it. The day my life changed, and this is an absolute fact, is when I stopped comparing myself to others and realized I'm just going to be me to the extreme. And if people don't like me, that's okay. But the people who do will be my tribe. And if I don't have probably past the 7th grade vocabulary, right? I don't articulate and use really big words. I say great, excellent, excited, probably a lot, right? But that's me. But the day I realized that I could be me, so much pressure went away from doing lives or doing a video or putting myself out there. Because we are so connected because of these phones. You don't have to be somebody amazing in your neighborhood. If there's nobody in your neighborhood like you, who cares? You're connected to every neighborhood in the world. There's plenty of your exact people out there. And the more you get to be you, the more you fall in love with the camera, the more you fall in love with sharing. As an introvert, sometimes we overthink. Isn't that true? What am I going to say when I walk in that party? Who am I going to sit next to? What should I do? What should I say in this video? Is it perfect? Maybe an extrovert goes too quick, but I wrote something down. An extrovert might talk too quick, but maybe they say the thing, the unspoken that everybody should have said. right? So it's a great way to look at it. The extrovert might say something in advance while you're overthinking, but your overthinking allows you to have a really great answer as long as there's action attached to the other side of it. So last weekend, I was in Florida with Tony, and we had a mastermind. And we had a mastermind with some of our top partners who support Mastermind, our company, our affiliate partners. And once a year, we get together with our top affiliates, and we spend a few days together just masterminding. And we had a gentleman, I'll keep his name quiet. So gentleman stands up and he says, his question was, hey, I'm doing well. It's time for me to go to the next level, but I can't be in the invisible anymore. For me to go to the next level, I got to be more out front. I got to do more on social. And this gentleman's doing probably millions of dollars a year. He's ready to go to the next level. And he said, I need to be different. He's whispering, I need to be more outgoing, right? Like really quiet and shy guy, right? So Tony says, hey, is there another person in there? Right? Can you make, if anybody knows Tony, he's like, can you make the sound of when you're excited? And he's like, roar, right? Roar, and all of us were laughing and smiling because we love them. They were laughing and we're smiling. And Tony said something to him that I thought would be fun to share. He said, which parents' love did you crave the most? And I'm telling you what Tony said, but I'm asking you at the same time. Maybe you could think through this. He goes, what parents' love did you crave the most? And he thought a minute and he said, my mom's. I said, okay. Who did you have to be? Tony said, who did you have to be to get your mom's love? I said, well, I had to follow the rules. I had to be quiet. I had to speak when spoken to. And he just shared who he was. And as he was saying it, he was like, oh my God, I'm still carrying that. And Tony said, cool. That's a part of you. That's not all of you. That's the part that you created to acquire your mom's love, or at least what you thought you have. Cool, look where it got you. Look how successful you are. And we're all applauding him. He's like, but I bet there's, and this is the way Tony said, he goes, I bet there's a crazy bastard. There's a extrovert that lives in there. You just haven't seen him in a while. And Tony starts going through Tonyisms, and Tony's going through the process. And he's like, he's got him to go, rawr, and he's getting a little louder, and he's getting a little louder. We're all cheering him on, and all of a sudden he's outgoing. His arms are up. And Tony goes, wait, who's that guy? And he named him The Rock. He goes, he's The Rock. And he transformed in front of us of being somebody who wasn't afraid, who felt comfortable in his own skin and was louder and sharing with us. And all of a sudden he's screaming at the top of his lungs. There's only 12 of us in the room and we're all screaming with him. And Tony's like, wait a minute. I thought you were this introvert guy with this little voice. Who's this guy? And he said, listen, you have the option, and when I'm sharing it, to call on either one. You have the option to sometimes be more thoughtful and think through it and focus. And other times you have the opportunity to step into the uncomfortable and pull out that other version of you that you're calling the Rock. So I thought it was just such a powerful lesson, and we watched it happen right in front of us. I want to get rid of every excuse. And I don't mean excuse in a bad way. I want to get rid of every reason that you could say, well, I could do this if. If I could do this if I was an extrovert, or if I wasn't so shy on camera. How do we crush that? How do we destroy that? How do we get rid of that forever? And how does this voice that you have, how does it truly come out? Because, we say this a lot, but it's the truth. There's people right now, whether you're doing 1 sale a week, 1 sale a day, 100 sales a day, there are more people, or the first person, that need to hear directly from you. Directly from you. And if your voice isn't out there, they're suffering in silence because they don't have what it is that you've been through that can allow them to go faster.